Hey, today, the New York Safe Act is beginning to take guns. Rebecca Reed-Kantrowitz is at the SA meeting last night, and Boris Gresley will be joining us in studio. I'm Gerhard. This is SA Today. Despite claims that the New York Safe Act would discourage people from seeking mental health services, a new study showed exactly the opposite. That's our top story tonight. Upstate Medical University surveyed almost 50 mental health patients in their clinic to see if the SAFE Act would scare them away from getting help. And the results are in. Almost 80% of patients said the law would have no effect, and 16% said that it would make them more likely to find help. The researchers hope to survey another 50 people in Syracuse and patients across the state. Under the New York Safe Act, over 38,000 patients have been designated as at risk. New York recently identified 278 licensed gun owners who could lose their weapons because they are considered mentally unstable. 2 new tenants are lining up to take their places in Destiny USA Mall. The craft retailer Michaels and Gerhard, the Galleria of Jewelry, have started advertising their upcoming venues. Michaels is planning to leave its space in the Northern Lights Plaza, the second business in the last 2 years. TJ Maxx also made the switch last year. Heavily armed attackers killed 36 quarry workers in Kenya. The attackers singled out non-Muslims by asking them to recite the Islamic Creed, then shot them in the back of the head. Islamic militant group Al-Shabaab claimed to be responsible. President Uhuru Kenyatta asked his countrymen not to succumb to the militants' pressure in his national televised address today.
In and outside our country, with the aid of sympathizers, supporters, and collaborators among our communities, terrorists have retaliated viciously to deter us from our determined, effective, and successful effort to rid the Horn of Africa of terrorism and violent extremism.
Now, coming up on SA Today, Student Association was faced with a tough decision last night, and President Boris Gresley is joining us in studio. Don't go away.
Learning how to kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans.
These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids.
Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to SA Today. Last night, in the final General Assembly meeting of the semester, Student Association was faced with a tough vote. SU's Nipering group came to SA asking for their support with the New York State DREAM Act. The support would merely put Student Association's label on Syracuse's addition to the universities that support this bill in New York State. The association, however, after brief discussion, tabled the vote indefinitely. This motion effectively eliminated the possibility of the reconsidering the proposal at a later date. Joining me now in studio is SA President Boris Gresley. Boris, it's great to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Will. It's great to be here.
So to start off, we'll keep talking about the NYPIRG bill. You attempted to use your executive powers to reconsider the motion. Why was that?
Yeah, so I attempted to reconsider it, thinking that I could reconsider a motion, whereas I can actually reconsider a proposal. So that was my sort of misinterpretation of the executive power. But the reason why I did it was just because I felt that it is appropriate for the Assembly to take a stance, and whether they agree or disagree with any bill whatsoever. And tabling indefinitely really is not necessarily the best thing, because you already give a sort of response in terms of, well, I'm not going to table it, or I'm not going to necessarily deal with it. So I didn't necessarily approve of it, but that is the Assembly's decision.
Understood. And I mean, there's obviously a lot of discussions that have to be had with the university, and so sometimes an executive action is necessary, and I think that the students are totally behind it, of course, as long as it's within everyone's best interest.
Absolutely.
And so let's just kind of broader picture right now. You guys have had a lot this semester. It's definitely been, some people could describe it as a tumultuous semester, but overall just a very busy semester.
Yeah.
What has SA accomplished this semester?
So we've accomplished a lot. I brought this list just to make sure of it now, but we've obviously been able to get 24 access now, 24/7 access to Haven Dining Hall, which has now been converted to now Haven Study Space,
right.
Which is a great initiative, and I think something that we've really tried to push hard with, just because in the past it was just unoccupied space, so that's not necessarily good. In addition to that, we've also worked on the Student Affairs Task Force. The Student Affairs Task Force is a coalition of different student leaders from around campus. Their main task and main charge will be to work on creating a Student Affairs Summit for next semester. So February, around that time, we'll probably have the Student Affairs Summit. In addition to that, a lot of my committee chairs have been working a lot in different initiatives as well. We will be unveiling next semester the Chat and Wine or Chat and Dine initiative, which is where students can actually go now and have a meal with their professor or staff member under the SA dime, per se.
Oh, that's great.
So in addition to that, we also have heat lamps that are going to be installed next semester around South Campus. We are continually focusing on creating the multilingual writing center, which is a really big initiative that we're trying to push for. So there's a lot, right? We've been very involved with SA Consent in partnership with the Office of Health Promotions and different multiple offices. And so there's been a lot. It's been busy. We've had the general body to also be working with, and a lot of the things that they've been doing has been great. And we're partnering with them in terms of making sure that a lot of the demands or solutions that they're proposing are actually coming alive, are actually going to be happening for next semester. So stay tuned.
That sounds great. And shifting gears just a little bit up to the administrative level of the university, Rebecca Reed-Kantrowitz was at the SA meeting. What have the two of you been able to accomplish together?
Well, first of all, just like myself, Dean Kantrowitz is sort of new to her position as well. She was the interim dean last semester, and that's where we met and we started to work and all that. But this semester, we sort of solidified that relationship. And a lot of the things that we've been working on is really now talking about medical amnesty moving forward. I think that's one of the things that we talked about, and that we're really going to have that conversation in depth in terms of whether that policy is something that we should be propose or opposed to. In addition to that, we've also been working a lot with the SA Consent. I mean, that's the big initiative that's happening around the entire United States, and that's an initiative that we also wanted to make sure we were tackling here at home. And so that's sort of what we, both the dean and myself, have been working on to that sort of level, but also it's just really been about communication and making sure that I'm providing to her as much feedback about what's going on with the student body, and she's doing the same thing in terms of what's going on with the administration, right? So we do have this sort of symbiotic relationship where it's been really productive.
And something you touched on there is communication, and every interview that we've had on the show this semester, I see that to be the underlying motif of literally almost every single one. Communication.
Yeah.
It's so crucial. especially in running a student body and running a student government. Just before we round up here, what are you looking forward to accomplishing for next semester? What do we have on the horizon?
So for next semester, obviously finalizing every single thing that we've been working on for the past 2 semesters. I mean, we're still working on creating a student athletic fee. That's been the big thing we've been trying to push for as well. Like I said, the multilingual writing center has been another thing we've been working on. Solidifying the summit and making sure that we have the summit for next semester. That's a big one also. So there's been a lot of work done these past 2 semesters. The last semester is really where we're going to really capitalize on all the work that we've done. And it takes time, right? It takes time, it takes communication, it takes patience, it takes working and compromising. But when it gets done, it's beneficial for the student body, but it's also very beneficial for us because we definitely feel that we've made an impact. And I think everyone in SA has that feeling, right, moving forward.
Absolutely, and that's great for us. And I mean, I just have to say, like I said, it's been a very busy semester. Keep doing the great work. Keep putting in the good hours. The students definitely appreciate it, and a lot of that credit
appreciate
goes
it.
to
I will say one more thing. We will be releasing an end of the year report during the month of December. So stay tuned for that. That's going to have more sort of in-depth in terms of what we're looking to do in the future, but also what we've accomplished these past 2 semesters.
Great. Well, thank you, Boris, so much for joining us. It's a pleasure having you on again. Well, coming up next on SAI Today, your final sports minute of the semester and a random act of not kindest, but pasta. Stick around.
Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it. I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool. Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking.
Viking. Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown. Downtown.
Night owl.
Early bird.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities, our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Welcome back. Syracuse Orange will take on Michigan in Ann Arbor tonight at 7:30. The Orange are 5-1 after a home victory over Holy Cross on Friday. This matchup will be one of the 14 matchups between the two conferences over the 3-day tournament. Syracuse is looking to improve their abysmal three-point shooting percentage and also get retribution for losing to Michigan in the Final Four 2 seasons ago. On to the NFL, where, of course, as always, it's an offensive-focused league. Touchdowns are the most important thing. From Peyton Manning to Tom Brady to Aaron Rodgers, and now Shaun Hill. That's right, the St. Louis Rams defeated the Oakland Raiders 52-0. But that's not even the story that's making the biggest headlines from that game. 5 St. Louis Rams players came out of the tunnel with their hands raised to illustrate the don't shoot symbol. Now police are asking for an elusive apology, which those players are reluctant to give. After an email from the St. Louis County Police Chief saying the Rams had called to apologize, but the Rams responded by saying that wasn't true. Whoever is more correct in this situation, whether it be the local police or the Rams players, it's about time they work out their differences on the issue so that together they can unite the city of St. Louis after the extreme turmoil the area has been through over the past few weeks. And on to a lighter note, a man who never won a never-ending pasta pass decided to use it to deliver pasta meals to friends, neighbors, and homeless people. He dubbed the activity of his as random acts of pasta and gave away 125 meals over the course of 7 weeks. That's all the time we have for SA Today. I'm Gerhard. Have a great night, Syracuse.